Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and this is a yarn chat video, probably number 80, I think. In this video, I will show you a finished object, a whip I'm working on, and then I kind of have done a little bit of excessive shopping. It's really easy to do when you have Amazon on your phone and you have a minute or two. You're like, oh, I think I'm going to buy that. And then I went to Hobby Lobby. Yeah. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. The first thing that I have here for you guys is I finished a Crochet Society project. I know they're few and far between. There's just every once in a while one will strike me and I'm like, I've got to do it. And so I got this one done. This is called the Syrup Waffle Shawl by Zoe Potrak. And I used 2 cakes of yarn for this. Now, if you remember, I was hoping to get this box in the mail. I was waiting for it. She'd done a video on it, and I hadn't gotten it. And actually, I got this. I hadn't opened the packaging, so I didn't see what the box looked like. So then when I made the video to open this one, hoping to get the yarn for this project, I actually got the flamingo one. So I was a little disappointed, but I was a little freaked out because then I thought maybe mine got lost in the mail. So I ordered another one out of the past box shop. If you're interested, they still have this for $27.99 in the past box shop. Now this is the right side of the project. This is what it looks like. And this is what the wrong side of the project looks like. It's actually pretty easy. However, I ended up having to watch the tutorial in order to be able to do it. Because this is written in UK terms, and they call front post double crochets and back post double crochets something else, it just got too hard for me. Usually I can translate the UK patterns in my mind, but this one was just too hard to follow because it also has a lot of repeats. So I used the tutorial that she had online. Now, the other thing that I did is I used most of 2 cakes because I had ordered the second box. And so the first one ended kind of right into this area here, the first cake. So that's kind of how big it would have been. And then I went and got my second cake and I cut it to where it would blend in with the blue. And then I did the rest of the pattern out from there. So it kind of goes pink, green, blue, purple, pink, purple, blue. And it would have gone on to green, but I decided to end it. Now, because I made mine a lot bigger, the border pattern also got a little weird in being able to get it done. As you can see, there's supposed to be 4 little picots between a bobble. And then here I only had 1, and then I had a bobble. So then I kind of made my own end where I had 3 bobbles here. And then I kind of just kept going, which then made this end weird. I should have done the 1 picot over here, another bobble, and then continue. But you know what? I don't care. But I do highly recommend, if you crochet with American terms, being able to figure out how they want you to do the bobble and the picot and the way the waffle stitch goes. It probably will be easiest for you to follow along with Bella Coco's tutorial. And then as she would say it, I kind of would look at the pattern and be like, oh, okay, I understand what you're doing. And then a couple rows in, I was ready. I could do it on my own. I didn't need to keep watching. And then I went back to figure out how she wanted the border to be done. But yeah, so I finished this. It's nice. It's nice and big and cozy. I mean, I don't think it's like a neck shawl now. It would definitely be over the shoulders, you know, while you're trying to be warm, I guess, if you want to quick run outside and grab something or just sit. It's kind of, that's how big it is when you use 2 cakes. So that's my first finished object. I did it last weekend. I started it Saturday morning and I crocheted all day Saturday and like half the day Sunday. Went to church, came home, crocheted, it was done. It was really quick. You know that, or I'm super fast? No. It was just really quick. I find that when I want to make something, I can work really quick at it. And when I am not interested in making something, I'm just doing it because somebody asked me to, or because I feel like I should do one of these crochet projects in these boxes. Kind of drags. My current whip is a hat. You're like, what? You're making a hat? Sure am. But this time I'm knitting the hat. I've gotten really good at knitting Ross's hat. I can pretty much do it all from memory. I'm getting very close to the end here where I will be finishing it off. I don't do Ross's brim. Ross has you do a 3 knit 1 purl, and I just do 2 and 2. This yarn is some of my favorite yarn in the world. Dazzling teal. I've bought a few. I actually got a gift card from my 2nd graders last year, and I bought a whole bunch of it. And then I had a wonderful yarn friend, maybe in a swap, send me a few more because I just love this colorway of dazzling. I did, for the first time ever, join 2 skeins of yarn in knitting, and I'm going to tell you what, you guys, it was a challenge. I'm gonna see if I can try to find it in here. When crochet, it isn't as loose when you join them together. And I ended up having, usually I just do a 1 knot, like if you're starting to tie your shoe. But then when I came around on the next, it was pulling out. So I did a full knot on the inside. Hopefully it doesn't feel weird, because the yarn kept getting loose while I was going over it, even for 2 or 3 rounds after where I joined the 2 colors together. So I'm sure I'll have to weave those in. But this is my hat. I love the fade. These are my favorite colors right here. These 2, the dark blue and the teal and the white. And the teal and the, I really just love this. So that is what I'm working on. I'll probably finish this hat today. Now for the purchases. If you remember, Knitpal is a company that makes yarn and dyes yarn. They do have a marketplace shop on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description to them. They had said they had some new colors, and she sent me a free new Knitpicks or Knitpal tweed. I loved it so much, I bought my own, so now I had 2 packs of those. And then I was thinking that I wanted pink too. So I ordered, I haven't opened it up yet, but I did order another one from them. I know, because until the end of September, Snuggle 15 is a code that you can enter in and get a discount. So I ordered the pink, which is very bright pink. It's not a soft baby pink. It's a bright pink. I don't have a scissor out here. I'm gonna have to try to break in here to show you what it looks like. Holy cats, they definitely put this together firmly. Trying to find a scissor in here. Might have to jam it with a knitting needle or a crochet hook. I thought I had Yarn Hag Ryan's little tricky scissors out here. I don't. Well, I'm going to jab it with a knitting needle. That's what I'm going to do. How do you feel about that? Okay, so here is their tweed. It's kind of a bright pink. Let's see what it looks like with the purple. They look cute together. One of my coworkers is having a baby. Well, his wife is. And they've been trying to have a baby for a while. So please pray for them that this pregnancy goes well. They've had a lot of heartache, and I'm very excited about these tweeds because maybe I'll take and make everything for him out of these for his new baby. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait just a little bit more time. Let's see, what else have I bought? Okay, so Knitter's Pride. I am going to do a video about my different knitting needles. The first few sets of knitting needles I got, I want to say were like boys or something at like Joann's. They were on clearance. And I really didn't like the strings. And then my stepmom, for my birthday a couple years, she bought me a few of the Addy bamboos. But they're not too expensive, but I don't have anywhere in Oshkosh to buy Addies. And so if I pick up a project, And I don't have the right knitting needles off that like 5 or 6 sets she had gotten. And she didn't get me interchangeable ones, which is why I'm just saying I had to order some knitting needles. Now, I had been going to, what's that place called? Hobby Lobby. And they have Knitter's Pride. And Knitter's Pride are kind of reasonable. And I don't mind their cables. So because I've been knitting a lot of Ross's hat, because that's the style of hat that I've been able to accommodate to a 2nd grade head, in both worsted, DK, and bulky, I've adjusted his pattern a little bit for a small, because it's an adult pattern to use on children, and it's just what I know right now. I probably should just find another pattern for a kid, but anyway. I wanted some more knitting needles to do DK. So I went to Hobby Lobby and they didn't have any. So then I went to Joann's and I bought 2 clover bamboo interchangeable. So I bought a 16-inch cable and then the ends that you twist on for a 7 and an 8, I believe, or maybe a 6 and a 7. I don't remember. But they were $9.99 for the needles and $6.99 for the set. So I was like, golly, that's kind of expensive, especially if I were gonna build and buy all the interchangeables for clover. Since I already had a couple set in Knitter's Pride, but they didn't have a 16-inch round. So to make a long story short, when I added up how much, that was $27 for the 2 needles and the 1 cable. I decided just to buy myself a set of interchangeables. So I went on to Amazon and I went to the Knitpicks, because Knitpicks has a marketplace. So Amazon will be a distributor and a shipping for other businesses. I'm sure they get a part of the profit, but you're still ordering from Knitpicks, but instead of taking 2 weeks out of the catalog, it comes in 2 days. So I ordered these Knitpicks interchangeable needles in a Caspian wood set. I'm going to pull out a set and let you see how beautiful they are. Aren't those pretty? And in this set, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 needles, and it has 2 32-inch cables that you can join together, and then it has 2 16s that you can also, you have the ability with the equipment they give you in this little baggage to join the cables together so that you can do 16 and 16 or 16 and 32 or 32 and 16. See that? These are the, oh wait, no, look at this. Here's a 32 and then there's something else. What, 28? I don't know. Maybe it's 32 and 26. It doesn't say on here. It doesn't. And then here's some more of their equipment. These little stoppers. I think what you do is if you're knitting and you want to use the needles for something else, you take these ends, you screw them on the end so that your work stays on your cable, and then you can go use the pointy needle part for a different project. I dropped something on the floor. More of these. Okay, so I bought those. You guys, I want to say, I wish I would have done better to look it up online before I put on my camera. Oh, but now that I know this fancy new trick, I can look it up for you. I don't know if you noticed that in my last video, I know how to stop this video and I know how to join 2 videos together. I'm going to do that. You guys won't even notice, but I will. Okay, so I just looked up. The set here, the full set is $55. Now remember, it was going to be $27 for just 2 needles and 1 cord if I bought them at the Clovers. So I think $55 is pretty reasonable. And then I also bought myself an extra cord. Because when I was going to my knit group, when I was talking to those ladies, it just seemed like having the extra cords was where you could hang your project on, take your needles, use them for something else. And this was $4.99 for just 1 Knitpicks. Now, to be honest, the Knitter's Pride ones that I just looked at Hobby Lobby were $2.99. So it's really not that much more for the Knitpicks ones. Okay, so that was the first big splurge. Well, this. I bought those. Those were $21. And then that was $60. And then I waited for a few days and didn't do any shopping. This all came in the mail on Tuesday. I bought all this stuff on the weekend when I was crocheting. So then this week, I needed to go to Hobby Lobby, right? Because I decided I needed to buy something to organize my knitting needles, right? Now I got all these needles. So I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's actually a sewing bag because I didn't like the ones that I saw in the yarn section. And I'm really going to be happy with this one. Because I have, what I'm going to try to organize in here a little better I have a random set of Chai-Gu needles. I have another set that I bought to go with a different project I made. I have a little tiny one that I use when I'm going to knit a hat that I bought to do the Rosses. It's also a Knitter's Pride. It's a little tiny knitting needle set. And then, of course, I have some of the double pointed ones that I use. So in here, I was just going to put the most of the double pointed that I use when I'm making hats. I don't know. Did I even need it? Because one time I did buy this one at Hobby Lobby. And that has the Addy knitting needles in it. I'll show you that real quick. Both of these were probably in, well, that I know was $14.99. This is the one that I have from Hobby Lobby from before with the Addy knitting needles in it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of Addies. I have a couple pieces for a Knitter's Pride, but I thought maybe I would organize them by needle type. I don't know. So I'm not necessarily a fan of this. This isn't like my go-to pattern, obviously, but it kind of matched the color of those, and the other one was plaid. I don't like plaid. Then also at Hobby Lobby, I bought a children's devotional book because I'm a teacher. And I teach at a Christian school, so I can talk about God at my school. And they were 50% off, so this was $11, so I got it for $5.50. And then, this is what I've been struggling with. This is where, if you want to type some advice to me in the comments below, please do. Okay, so I find crocheting with scrubby yarn very difficult because I have a very hard time finding the top of the stitch to do the next row in. And so the pattern that I have to make a bath scrubby, you make a chain and you put like, what, 30 double crochets in the chain and you tighten it. And then in the top of, for the next round, in the top of it, you do 3 double crochets in the top of the other double crochet. So you end up tripling your number, which is what gives you that crumply look. And it's really hard to see, and this plastic yarn doesn't really give you the same feel of a yarn. So I decided to look it up online because somebody at school wants me to make them a bath scrubby. And she showed me the one somebody else had made her, and I can't identify what material it's made out of. So then I tried to make her one out of cotton because I saw a pattern online for a cotton scrubby. It looked easy, looked great. I made it, but the cotton scrubbies just suck in the water and the soap, and they don't lather up and spread it around. I made one for her, and I made it as the pattern followed, so it was huge. So then I made the pattern one round smaller for my kids, and they agreed, and they said it just sucks up the water and the soap, and it's really hard to use. So then I made it with 1 row, I think, of the cotton, and then I put a row of scrubby on the end. Still didn't do it. So I bought a full row of scrubby yarn. I'm going to try to have a go at it. Then I also got this at Hobby Lobby, Scrubology, but this feels so rough. I think it's going to be easier to see the yarn. And if I recall, I actually bought a yarn similar to this at my Dollar Tree for $1. But of course, I had less in the skein, and it was pink. So I'm going to try to make one with this, just see how it feels. But this is super abrasive. So to me, this really feels like dish soap, like cleaning your dishes. And this is a little softer for your body. But then I saw this. This is a sugar and cream scrub off. So it looks like a combination of scrubby yarn and cotton yarn. I mostly bought this because it was cool. Pretty sure that the cotton yarn is still going to be super absorbent, but I just thought maybe I'd make a washcloth with this and just see what it looks like. So if you have ideas or suggestions, this poor gal has been waiting for a scrubby. To be fair, the lady that made it was my really good yarn friend at school. She also knits and crochets, and she was diagnosed with cancer last year. They found it in her brain and her uterus, and she ended up with a hysterectomy, and now she's on hospice. She's not doing well. So it is kind of sad, you know, because I'd rather her make all the scrubbies. And I can't seem to find a good scrubby for her because the other gal said she didn't like the first one I made, which is fine. I'm not sad about it because it was not what she showed me. I've heard of people making scrubbies out of tulle, but it just didn't look like tulle to me. So if you have any ideas or links to patterns or websites that show you about making something, feel free to share it with me. I'd appreciate it. Then the last thing that I have, it's kind of a tease and a sneak peek, because I'm going to tell you what. I get these Bella Coco boxes, and I leave it sitting on the floor by the front door, which doesn't impress my husband, I'll add, for a week or two before I even come down here to make a video. And I ended up releasing my video after 2 weeks of having the box on the same day that Bella Coco opened it officially. I'm going to tell you what, you guys, I just can't keep track of her schedule. I know she sends it out to me earlier because I'm in the United States, but I mean, I love Bella Coco and I follow her, but I don't follow her to the day, like every day, check on her to know when she's releasing. And I don't want to, you know, I don't want to, what's the word? I don't want to show her up by opening her box before her. So I just want to let you guys know I did get this one. It's kind of cute. It has kitty cats on it. Looks like fluffy cat balls, cat cotton balls. So it'll be interesting to see what's in there. I'm not going to open it yet for you. I'm going to actually make a video when I'm done with this one and then show you. So before I close out this video, I just wanted to say today is 9/11, and this morning I watched probably like 5 hours of coverage of the 9/11 ceremony, where that's why I feel so tired right now, because I was crying. I'm a crier. I'm an emotional person. And once somebody else cries, I cry. And of course, 9/11 was devastating. I feel a little bit weird about it because my kids don't understand it or know it at all. But I was in college when it happened. So it feels real to me, but to them, it's history. You know what I mean? Isn't that strange? But I am thankful for all that protect our country and work hard to keep it so that we don't have attacks like that. And then I pray and send wishes of peace to countries that regularly have attacks like this in their country, in their homeland, where innocent are dying for no reason, almost for no reason. So I was crying for 4 hours watching that. It was very sad. So that's why I wanted to end this video with just saying, you know, thank you. And you know, I wanted to pay a little bit of a tribute, not just talk about yarn. And that's what I like. That's what makes me feel good right now, is my yarn. Okay, folks. Send me some patterns for some scrubbies or materials to make scrubbies with. I'll make some for the gal, and then I'll retire that. And then I'm going to go back to making what I want. All right. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until the next video, happy crafting. Bye.